Well, welcome to Daily Reflections on the 29th of June. And we're carrying on with First Corinthians chapter 2 today. And chapter 2 emphasizes the preaching of the message of the cross, the hidden wisdom of God revealed through the Spirit. And there are 8 key points in this chapter, and that we must always keep in mind when we are witnessing to the environments and the communities and the friends and families that we have around us. And I just wanted to go through those 8 points and just reflect back and maybe read First Corinthians chapter 2 today slowly, and then dwell on these points and just see how it will affect your witness and your walk. Well, the first one is preaching the message of the cross. How important it is today, because actually the cross is the place of victory. It's where Jesus paid the price for us. You know, his purpose was to demonstrate the power of God rather than impressing people with worldly wisdom. And we can get caught up, can't we, when we've got favourite people that we like to listen to. But in actual fact, the power of the cross is far more effective than anything else. The second thing is the hidden wisdom of God. Hidden wisdom of God was revealed to believers through the Holy Spirit. Now, the wisdom that comes from man is very different to the wisdom that comes from the Holy Spirit. And it can be in contrast sometimes to the way that the world is operating. So there's another point that maybe we need to reflect on. Who are we listening to? And the third point is spiritual discernment. Believers have received the Spirit of God to understand the things freely given to them by God. Spiritual discernment is really key, because if you don't understand that you're a believer and that you have received the Spirit of God to understand these things freely, you're always going to feel like you've got to earn it. The next point is wisdom from the Spirit. You receive the Spirit to know the mind of Christ. And I love this part, because where it says in the scriptures about renewing your mind, transformed lives, it's just so key. If we continue to meditate and work on and listen to what God is saying through the Holy Spirit, then we can have the mind of Christ. And that was my fifth point, the mind of Christ. The sixth point is God's revelation. Believers through the Spirit searches the depths of God's thoughts. One of the practices that's really important is contemplative prayer and meditation, thinking about the things of God and then applying them to your life. The sixth point is God's revelation. Searching the depths of God's thoughts. And again, as I say, you can do that through meditation. And then rejecting human wisdom. Believers through the Spirit. Human wisdom is limited and inadequate to understand God's purposes. Instead, we should rely on the power of the Spirit, which demonstrates God's wisdom. How many of us have taken the road of taking advice from human resource and not weighing it properly, and realizing that we've got caught up in something that we never really wanted to be caught up in, but it sounded good at the time. And then finally, the source of faith. Faith does not rest on human wisdom, but on the power of God. And I love that. I love the part where you can just rest in the presence of God, and you get that revelation and that power. So chapter 2's got quite a bit in it, and I think that's really important to think about, and maybe just to read through it slowly, and then maybe read it a couple of times today and just see where that takes you. Just remember, chapter 2 emphasizes the preaching of the message of the cross and the hidden wisdom that God has revealed, and through the Spirit, and the importance of spiritual discernment, the contrast between human wisdom and God's wisdom, the mind of Christ received through the Spirit, and the source of faith being God's power rather than human wisdom. Well, on that in-depth and quite deep part of chapter 2, I shall see you tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you then, and have a blessed day. And just remember that you have the Spirit within you.